Hello, party people. My name is Bryanna Weiskircher-Moore.
And I'm Devin Moore, and you're listening to another episode of Oak Performance Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oak Performance Radio. I'm your host, Adam Lane. If you're new to the show, our goal here is to create some content, some fantastic content for athletes, parents, and coaches. We tell stories, have laughs, and go into everything that is the end game of athletic performance, helping athletes achieve their optimal performance and be the best they can possibly be. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Oak Performance Radio. I'm your host, Adam Lane. With me today, had to get out another headset.
Sure did.
Mr. and Mrs. Moore,
Yes, sir.
What's up?
how are you guys? Thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking the time, putting this together. Have you podcasted before?
I have.
Have you?
With you.
Oh my God, you did! Second time. Jeez.
Yeah, like years ago.
Years ago.
Years ago.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I haven't.
No. Devin, that's why I wanted to have this podcast, because you
Thank
have
you.
not, and I wanted to make sure that I felt bad leaving Bryanna out. So I'm glad we're doing this. I also am glad that you guys are matching the background right now.
Yeah.
So between the three of us, you can't see us at all.
Nope.
Just floating heads, with the gray, blue, black going on here.
Whoops.
But yes, here we are. Bryanna, Devin, for the tons of people that listen to the show who might not know who you are and why you're such a big deal, tell these people who you are and why you're such a big deal.
For the tens of people breaking the internet.
That's literally it right there. You're right.
My name is Bryanna. I was born and raised in Rockford, went to Boylan High School,
Go
graduated.
Titans.
Go Titans. Graduated and went off to play volleyball at Penn State.
Go Nittany Lions.
Go Nittany Lions. Rawr.
Did they roar?
I don't know.
Less so recently, but hopefully we get back to it.
Are you talking volleyball or football?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Went to play volleyball at Penn State, graduated from there, met Devin at Penn State, flinging my chopstick around. Dated for a hot second here, came back to Rockford, got married, moved to Pennsylvania, moved back. Here we are, ready to party. Now we are like full residents in Pennsylvania or Illinois. So I don't know.
You're official. You're homeowners. You
We
had
are
pipes
homeowners.
freeze this weekend. That's how you know
Yep.
you own a house.
In the Midwest.
Yeah, I forgot he doesn't know like full winter yet, because where we were in Pennsylvania is not like
Oh.
cold.
Oh.
I mean, it's not warm. It's just
Yeah. You
we
get
don't-
snow.
We don't get to -6
Yeah.
often.
Gotcha.
So,
But now
now I know.
frozen pipes
Yep.
and
Go
yeah.
put some insulation in the house.
Now you know.
Yep.
Welcome to the Midwest.
And this is
That's
Devin.
fun. And this is Devin.
I'm Devin. I grew up in Pennsylvania, obviously. Also played volleyball, but at a school no one knows. And went to Penn State. That's where I met Bryanna. And after dating, we got married, moved to Pennsylvania. And we coached together out there. We moved back here and did some coaching together here this fall. So that's who I am.
So let's run into that.
I tried my best.
Coaches here for Rockford Christian. Okay. Girls
Well,
volleyball coaches.
I haven't signed a contract for next year,
Okay.
so hopefully they bring us back.
Shout out, Ted.
Shout out Ted.
Get on it, Ted. Will you? I mean, all these other contracts are coming. I mean, I'm assuming all the NIL money, hand over
Crazy.
fist,
Crazy.
all these.
Man.
It starts right here, with the NIL money here.
It's
All
in the
the
world of NIL right now.
all the YouTube money that will come again, breaking the internet.
Breaking the internet.
This year, you guys had I'm going to say quite a special year with a special group of kids. There has been talent in the Rockford Christian pipeline for a little bit. We've had the pleasure of coaching some really fantastic kids coming through that. And this year, you guys put all the pieces together, had some great pieces coming into. You had a heck of a year. Finished 4th in the state and did a lot of winning.
We tried. I mean, going into the season, obviously, like I've said many times in many interviews and things, we were not expecting to coach this fall. We spent some time with VC United last year coaching and, getting into the move to Illinois and
Sucking you back.
sucking us right back on over this way. And coached with VC this last year. I spent some time with 181. Devin spent some time with all of the 17s and 18s wherever he was needed. Got asked by a few different athletes, and one in particular just kept nagging me and sliding in like,
We can all guess who that is.
I could be, me as your new Rockford Christian athlete and blah blah blah. And yeah, good kid. We'll take it.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie. Shout out, Maddie. It was to the point, and we got to the spring, and I looked at Devin, and I was like, didn't we decide we weren't going to coach in the fall? Like, we were going to take a semester or a season off because we had been coaching together for the last like 5 or 6 years, and just literally year round, whether we were coaching club or girls in the fall and boys in the spring. And it's been chaos. And I think going into the season, like I said, we were not expecting to coach at all. And the opportunity came, and we realized that we like coaching too much and doing these things, and had an opportunity with a school that aligned with our values and things that we had going on in the world. And while coaching club was at the time part of our norm, like it was
because you had not coached high school before.
We coached high school in Pennsylvania.
You did coach. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You guys did it all.
I spent say after graduation 9 years coaching boys JV volleyball at my alma mater, and then 8 years split between like 2 seasons of volunteering, 2 seasons of a JV coach, and 4 seasons of the varsity coach for the girls program at my high school. So, and then the last
Did you live in your hometown when you?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you guys got married?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
sucked you back to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Like the last 3 years, Bryanna coached with me pretty much full time, because after we got married and she moved out there, we just did it all together.
But I was a volunteer.
She was a volunteer.
Yes. Because you can't get paid.
Yeah.
Volunteer.
Subordinate. Yes.
Yep.
But yeah, so we had some amount of high school coaching experience together.
Okay.
But we just flip-flopped roles.
Yeah. But yeah, after coming back here and spending the winter and the spring coaching club, that at the time was kind of a piece of what felt normal for us and like our usual thing, because obviously we were moving to a new state, house hunting, doing all of these things, and in the chaos of it all, coming here to VC to coach in the spring and in the winter was kind of what felt normal for us, and kind of calmed the chaos a little bit, even though obviously adding coaching into the job situation didn't help. And he was looking for a new job and all of these things, so we decided during that time that we were going to take the fall off and relax and, get our house together. And the one that we moved into
Say like literally and figuratively.
the middle of April, and, figuring out what the heck we needed. And
Is that when you moved in?
in the middle of April.
Okay. Gotcha.
Literally the weekend of World Challenge.
Oh, nice.
Was
Good timing.
when we closed on the house was right before, and then I left for World Challenge. Like, it was absolute chaos. And actually when we put our offer in for the house and like all of those things and waiting for it to get accepted, we got the call that our offer got accepted while we were driving to Triple Crown in Kansas City. So like we were gone for that next week, even though we had just gotten a house and all of these things. And so like April hit, and we're like, no, we're going to take the fall to move in. He had just started a new job, and, I was getting things rolling with my job, and decided, take the
Buy a
fall
house.
and put things up and get things in order. And we still don't have lots of wall decorations up, because we went straight into then coaching a high school season, which good and bad lasted a lot longer than we were expecting it to. And, like the team in Pennsylvania that we coached finished a month before we even finished. And so, going into the high school season, obviously I knew a couple of the kids just from being here at VC. I knew of a couple of kids, but I had never seen, we hadn't seen a lot of these kids play in forever. Maddie was the only one that was on 181 last year that we had actually
Familiar with.
fully watched play volleyball in a minute. So we were kind of going in like, I knew some of the kids from Premier back when I was the technical director before I moved out to Pennsylvania, and
A few years back.
And I'm like, oh, you're not a 13-year-old anymore.
Yes.
Great, you're a senior. Okay, cool. Like, but yeah, just getting into the gym with them some this summer, doing open gyms and things like that. And I looked at him and I was like, this season's gonna be a long one because I think we're gonna be playing pretty far into the postseason, and obviously Illinois and Pennsylvania does postseason differently. So I was sitting here explaining exactly how postseason works in Illinois to him after it took him like 5 seasons to explain it to me, because Pennsylvania does it real weird, I'll be honest.
You can lose and keep going.
Yeah, in the postseason. Isn't that weird?
Just depends on where at.
Huh.
Yeah.
And it's not just like at
Not a-
state when you lose and then you're playing for third. Like it's
It's not like a double elimination.
You could
type-
lose. You could lose like the equivalent of your sectional match, and continue on to the state playoff because they take teams out, like a certain number of teams out of a region. So they might take 4 teams from this region, and it's just a seeding thing about who else you play later.
don't be confused. It took me
yeah.
a lot of years to figure it out.
Yeah,
Do you
when-
like it?
I mean, I didn't have any problem with it because I was used to it. We also never got there, so it didn't really concern me a whole lot.
But yeah, I mean, we were going.
I'm trying to think of another tournament where that happens.
I don't know. I'm just like, oh, it's exactly like the NCAA tournament. Like you lose, you're done.
Yeah, that's how.
It's like
yeah,
we just have an extra round.
yeah.
It's kind of like how NCAA basketball does conference championships, where you have your conference tournament and then you have the NCAA tournament. It's like that, where you could lose your conference tournament, but if you've either won enough or clinched or done something, you can still be alive for the next one.
But then you can still lose a little bit later and then still keep playing.
There's also like the local playoffs.
We're gonna keep giving you a chance.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Real
sense.
interesting.
You can lose twice and win state.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Does that happen very often?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, here it makes a lot of sense. You
Oh,
lose,
Pennsylvania.
you're done, you win, you keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Survive in advance. Talk about. I'm curious what. Because Bryanna, I think you're. I'm going to say you're still young.
Thank you.
She's not 30 yet.
You're not 30 yet.
Nope.
You're young.
Thank you.
Well, I also think it's interesting. Like there's no playbook on coaching. Nobody ever coaches somebody on how to coach. Like that I think is a like, I don't know. I guess you can watch coaches coach and kind of emulate them in some way, shape, or form, or but like there's so many young coaches that come in, and I don't care what level you played at. Like, you probably got coached in a very different way than a lot of a lot of other coaches coach, their athletes, and you guys have a specific, I'm going to say a style, if you will, to your coaching. When you're coaching athletes, I want coaches to listen to this. I want coaches to listen to this and be like, oh, hey, be a little reflective. Because I think my style has kind of changed as years gone on. It's not like I was yeller and screamer breaking clipboards and then I'm singing Kumbaya. Like that's not, but like, I see, especially with young coaches, their highs are too high and their lows are too low. Literally 1 second they're breaking a clipboard and then they're like, yeah, great job. Like, calm down. You're, stinking.
Yeah, and I think athletes can be the exact same way.
Yes.
Your highs are too high and your lows are too low.
And especially with volleyball, where it's like, there's another ball coming. Like, you don't have time to have a pity party for yourself.
Right.
Like, get over it and, build a bridge. Is that something that you are cognizant of, like, when you're coaching, or is that just more and both of you are pretty chill. Is that just like natural personality, or are you cognizant of, I want to make sure that my kids play as loosely as possible? Did I word that at all well? Play loose, is that right?
Yeah,
stress-free.
Stress-free. I think ultimately, like, volleyball's just a game, and I think that sometimes we can put too much on ourselves and so much weight on ourselves that, like, we lose sight of what's really important. And I think that, over the years, I've obviously
You're talking like you're so old here.
over the years of coaching, like, yeah, this was my first high school season as a head varsity coach, but like, obviously I've coached a lot of teams in my young life. But I think that, I've obviously I've watched a lot of people coach, and I've been coached by a lot of coaches. And I think that everybody has their own style, and like, he even has a little bit different of a style than I do, but like, you have to find what works for you and what you think will get the most out of your athletes. And obviously it's going to depend on what level you're coaching and, what the desires of and the goals are of the team. And I think that for me, it was, as the years went on, like, because I was the athlete that played at the high level, like, I wanted to correct everything, like between every point, every play, like I wanted to tell you what you were doing wrong and how to fix it. But like, it got to the point where I was like they know. Yeah. And I think even as an athlete, like, you sit there and your coach is telling you what you did, like, yeah, bro, I know. I did it wrong the other day in practice too. But like, I think, just finding the balance of being honest with kids, and
that was fantastic.
Thank you. And like, there's a lot of times where athletes think, coaches are just telling me this, that, and everything in between because they want me to feel better or whatever. But I think that I spent, especially this year, a lot of time, and previous seasons, but for sure this year, going into a new program with a bunch of new kids who haven't been coached by me before or necessarily know my coaching style, of just being really honest with them of when they're playing well and things that they need to fix, or even when they're not playing well. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go up to a kid and light them up and tell them they're terrible at volleyball and we lost the game because of them or whatever it is. But like, I think them having the idea of knowing what to expect from me, like, I would know what I would get from them. And I think that when you can build that kind of trust with your athlete of like, this is who I am through and through, and this is how I'm going to coach you, whether you're having a good day, a bad day, or a whatever in between, like, what you're going to get from me. And that I care about you as an athlete and as a human being. And I think that being a steady piece in their life of like I said, volleyball is just volleyball. And I think that, when athletes have to sit there and guess where they are and, how does coach feel about me today? Or, you're always telling them they're the greatest thing on planet Earth. Like, Maddie Anspaugh is a freaking stud, but there are days where I'm looking at her like, are you okay? Like, do you remember how to volleyball? And, there'll be days where she looks at me like, no, I don't. But
I know you're new to passing, but just joking, like, Maddie, I'm joking.
But like, just knowing what to expect from me. And I think that when, you can have really high highs and be really excited. There were plenty of matches where I was super excited about the things that they were doing. But at the same time, like, 1 point is 1 point. And whether it's a great point or a bad point, like, we had so many silly points throughout the year that, you can't get overly disappointed or overly angry about it. Like, you have to find a steady level of, riding a really flat and boring roller coaster with a couple ups, but like, we can't be dipping to where 1 point ends up eating us up.
And you're cognizant of this.
I try to be,
because I don't think a lot of coaches are, and I'll relate this to any sport. Like, I see we're in wrestling season right now, and there's some wrestling coaches who, like, they will yell and dictate everything. Now, it is wrestling. You're wearing you're wearing your headgear. You can't hear anything. There's 12 mats going on at the same time. Everybody's mom's yelling from this. It's really hard to hear. So, like, there's some wrestling coaches that, no, the other leg, get the wrist control, and they're screaming and da-da-da-da. And then there are other ones that, like, they'll say a little thing here, a little thing there. They'll say it loud enough you can hear them. Obviously, that's important. But it's just interesting that, just the different angles. And obviously, I see it in basketball where there are some coaches that dictate everything. Pitch the ball, like, post, oh, too late, and it's just like, some of that is like,
right. And
you should know.
And honestly, I think before we got married and I moved out to Pennsylvania and spent a lot more time with him coaching, I think I got, like I said, I was really high with the highs, but like, I would have bigger reactions to things than what I thought I was. And I was the same way as a player, going into college, I had to learn like, hey, yeah, I might be really annoyed that we can't pass the ball in front of the 10-foot line, but like my passers can't know that, like I just have to eat it myself and then, continue to encourage them. And I think that even whenever I was first learning, first getting into the coaching game and learning about this is like, you can't have the biggest reactions that are going to change the emotions of your players. So like when they do something really dumb or whatever, like it's going to happen, but you can't, throw your arms up in the air and have this big fit, because now what is that athlete thinking? Because they're more concerned, honestly, about how you're reacting as a coach or how you feel as a coach. Like, oh, I can't mess up again and she's going to take me out or whatever. But, I think that prior to moving out to Pennsylvania, I had a little bit more of the bigger reactions of, being like, why did you do that? That was so dumb, like whatever. And like, I spent time laughing at kids' errors, because some errors the kids need to laugh about too. Like it is what it is. Like they're growing, they're learning, they're doing all these things. And, when I went out to Pennsylvania, Devin is very, very level. Like he, when people say like you get high highs, like he gets medium highs.
In real, we'll say coaching is fun life. In real life, I'm an engineer. So, and I would say that aspect of my life.
But a fun engineer.
Sure. But like for my coaching style, there's times where it's helpful and times where it's not. Like what she's helped me recognize is I explain stuff too much sometimes, which comes from me wanting to take that like, hey, here's the technical reason for why you did what you did. And it turns into a minute and a half and it's
timeout
is
over.
Much, right? It's just too much.
Beep.
But
Coach, feed your team.
Right, exactly. But from a personality wise, like, and I've told kids this, I don't get super excited about things, but when things aren't going well, I'm pretty much here all the time. So my goal as a coach is when kids are up here, let them be up here. And when they start to go down here, just chop it off at some neutral level and say, hey, we're okay. It's not going great right now, but it's like there's no reason to dwell on the things that have gone poorly, because as soon as you spend time thinking about those things, that's the only thing that you're going to put out on the court. Yeah. So it's like, for me, being cognizant of what my reactions are like is always on my mind. And I know she'll tell you, like, even when I was watching her play at the best levels, like I wasn't the person that was up there cheering and clapping and stuff. I just sat and watched. Like I was super excited and very proud, but
you didn't yell, like, let's go at the top of your lungs.
From a person, like things going well, things going bad. It's just kind of like, hey, it is what it is. Say we're volleyballing and it's going to go well and it's going to go bad. And we just have to figure out how to go well a little bit more than we go bad. And if we can be a steadying force as coaches and help on that end, like that's kind of where I try and be. Just like she said, being honest and knowing what to expect. From me, you can expect not a lot of excitement, but not a lot of like negativity either. It's just, let's just try and go do volleyball.
Well, that's kind of how he is as a player too. And like after I moved out to Pennsylvania, I played in his men's scramble league with him, and obviously watched him play in some tournaments and stuff. And he's very just, let's get it. And then, every once in a while you'll get the big, let's go. And you're like, all right, Devin means business. Let's do this. And I think that, like I said, even just trying to be a steady place for athletes and as an athlete too. And I had, like I said, I had to learn it going into college of like, hey, you can't roll your eyes because we shanked the ball into 4 courts over, and be like, it's not that hard. Pass it to me. Like, come on. And I think that, I think it can bring a lot of things to athletes and understanding. And, obviously at Penn State, Coach Rose wasn't a very, up or down kind of guy. He just straight up told you.
Was he pretty chill?
He was just level and, just told you how it is and what's going on. And, you move from there and, you watch, talking about wrestling, you watch Kale on the sidelines and at Penn State, and he's just there, like he's doing his thing, he's coaching, but he's not losing his mind over a crazy, like it's expectations and just understanding of what you're going to get from kids and hopefully what you can give back to kids. And I think when, you look on the sideline and your coach is throwing a tantrum on the sideline, like a lot of what programs are based off of how their coach acts. And, whether it's the highs and the lows or the respect factor or how they talk to people or
body language,
their body language and how they,
because I watched you guys, something goes bad. Like sometimes it's hard to keep it in and you guys did that beautifully. Like you,
thank you.
Hey, let's go. Okay. We're good.
I
Next
think,
ball.
like, I think that, like I said, volleyball is just a game. And I think that a lot of kids, especially now when they have the goals of playing in college and doing all of those things, they take too much. Like they put too much on themselves to be perfect and be the best player at the best time and do all these crazy things. But like sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself and you just keep moving and roll with the process and enjoy what you're doing.
So I graduated with Kale at Iowa State.
Oh, really?
We did. We didn't hang out a whole lot. However, there was one day he was in the rec center, which wrestlers had their own thing. So why he was in the rec center, I don't know. And he was running on a treadmill. And if you can picture a person who doesn't run, like, but he's on a treadmill at an incline of 15, going as hard as he can. And it looks like the treadmill is hurting. Like, it looks like he's punishing the treadmill. I'm like, I didn't realize the greatness I was seeing at the time. All of our listeners stopped listening right now, but that's okay. I had so much respect for that guy, and I didn't even know how awesome he was.
Oh yeah, at Penn State, the wrestling program, we share the same facility as them, and Kale is the guy that's coming from a workout himself, and then he's going to coach, and then he goes and works out again, and then just he gives everything that he has and sets examples for his kids and his athletes and the program. And I think that that's what coaches are to athletes. Like they're going to model exactly what you try to model. And, unfortunately you have teams that have attitudes or, do unsportsmanlike things through the net. But I think that if you as a coach, you put your foot down and, you set the example that you want, you're going to get that from your athletes. And the more that you do it and the more that you set the expectation and are consistent with it, that's what you get back in. I think that when, you don't know what you're going to, like, your athletes don't know what they're going to get day by day of like, is coach going to come in a bad mood today?
Coach Devin going to be with me?
Yeah. Like knowing what to expect makes the translation into training and doing those things a lot easier. Like when you're a roller coaster and all of these different things, like it's just makes things difficult.
Yeah. So. Well, I find it interesting within so many sports. I mean, in volleyball is one of those sports where literally the other over X amount of sets. Yeah, we've really electrical here. We're good. Over X amount of sets, the other team could actually outscore you in total number of points, but you could win. Yep. If you have one down set where you lose by 10, but
teams could have better stats than you and you could still win. It doesn't matter. Like
it doesn't matter. In order for you to like keep the ship afloat and go in the right direction. It's funny that you bring up the wrestling thing because I see other programs where there are at the college level very intense coaches.
You're not talking about Brand, are you?
No, I'm not. It's a little intense. But has run a really good program for a long time. But Gail's been beating everyone for longer. And, so it is interesting. Like, why do you have to yell and scream if you're athletes and you know the expectation and know what they should be doing? Now and again, you should say something to help them. Yes. Right. That should go without saying. But, I just think it's I think it's hard to coach in 2025. There's no book. There's no like, this is how you coach volleyball book, and I think everybody has their own little personality for it. And again, I don't even care what sport you coach. Right. Every sport's a little bit different with whatever. You have your Bob Knight that's, throwing chairs, and doing that thing. But then you have your John Woodens, who are just Did I go too far back for you there?
I don't know.
John?
who those people are.
UCLA basketball coach.
Okay.
Yeah. Like 10 national
job.
championships. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, who was, much more calm and like educating, if you will, with it. But he was a teacher, and that's more his thing. But who doesn't love Bob Knight? Like that guy. Anyway, I just think it's interesting how you guys, one, I think it's within your personality, but then two, obviously it was insanely effective because these kids, not only did they play well, fourth in state, fantastic, but like they really enjoyed. Like I went to games, I saw how much they supported each other, the goofy handshakes, watching the younger kids cheer for the older kids, watching the kids on the bench cheer for the kids on the court. When you were winning big, getting those kids on the bench, on the court, and then watching your starters support those kids. Like it was, I think, what we call a program. And you don't see that all the time with lots of schools. Like you have your 6 or 7 or however that is. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
We have a rule at our school in our program that like brain rot is not allowed. Okay. So all of the girls know that like if they say it, they'll like look at me like, yeah, I heard that. And so like
I would say what you were actually going for though is correct, because one of the biggest things she said at like the first meeting was, hey, this is what we're trying to do here as a program. Like we don't have the most number of athletes, so we had a bunch of kids that had to jump between teams to make enough numbers to do stuff. But I mean, we spent all of the playoff run just talking about the fact that, hey, there's 18 girls that are coming to practice every day, that are traveling to these matches and playing. And it's like, it's not 6 kids that are on the court. It's not the 10 kids that see consistent time or whatever. Like, what is making this happen right now is every single one of the 18 of you that are in this run, or all season long, it was, hey, it's the 28 girls that are part of this program at the high school level, plus all of the ones that are at the junior high level that make what we're doing here what we're doing here. Yeah. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you're on the court or not on the court, what you give at practice, what you give during matches, all of it matters. It's like, and you being on the bench and cheering for your teammates, and then when you're on the court, them coming off and cheering for you, that's what we need. Yeah. And that's what brings success and what helps drive development. Yeah. It's like, you can't do it as an individual. You can't even do it as a few individuals. It's like what we were trying to hopefully go for was stressing the importance of how important the team is, how much what matters is the team, how much it's the program. It's not about us.
Do you have a secret sauce for, because it's easy coaching high school kids, specifically high school girls, with stuff that could become catty, where you have 2 athletes vying for playing time, and you're playing her over there. I want to play. And you're sitting on the bench kind of hoping that they get hurt, but not like awfully hurt, but like just hurt enough to come off the game, get a finger jammed up. That's not an ACL, but a jam finger. So I can go in, coach, and I can because I think that's hard. Guys or girls are tough. And anything you do specifically do you just talk about the team? The team is important. We need to how do you say it and actually, and I don't want to say and actually believe it, but there's a difference between saying it and believing it and saying it just to say it.
Right. I think setting the expectations from the beginning of the season, like I had parent meetings, and then I had, just conversations with the athletes and the teams, and, going into the season, it was like, hey, like this is a new team, new year. Like I don't know, next to any of you, how you've played in recent times. I don't know if you play club. I don't know what club team you were on. I barely know how old some of you are. Like, I don't know what grade you're going into, and that doesn't matter.
What's your name again? Remind me your name.
So literally, like the very beginning of the year and in the summer when we had our open gyms, it was cool. Go get a ball and a partner, and it can't be anyone in your grade. Well, we had some siblings on the team, and I'm gonna go, and it can't be your sibling. And it's like, go meet some new people. So I think we went 2 practices
early on.
This started in the summer, and we started where you had to always say mine and then who you were passing to or setting to or whatever. And so we would rotate through, and then we're in like our second practice in, and I look at the seniors and I go, all right, I need you to name every single kid in here. And the looks on their faces. And Maddie Anspaugh was the first one to be like, I got it. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So she did it. And then, a little bit later, I did
How many kids? How many did she just name?
30?
20?
21.
Okay, 20. Okay.
20.
Not including the rest
right.
of the seniors.
Oh, no, I made her name the seniors
Well,
too.
yeah,
But
well, good.
I would hope she knows the rest of her
Okay.
class. But,
Let's hope so.
and then the next time they go to get a water break was, all right, I need another senior. And just like the looks on their faces was like, oh, she's not kidding. Like you have to know everybody.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately in previous years at the school, and I know that a lot of other schools like, okay, this is the freshman team and this is the JV team and this is the varsity team, or this is the 7th and 8th grade team, like 7th and then 8th, and then that's it.
Divide it.
Yeah. Yep. And, learning things that they had done in the past of like, they didn't overlap at all. Like they wouldn't practice with the other teams, and girls from the 7th grade team wouldn't know the girls on the 8th grade team. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like you're a program. You're not
not a
Rockford Christian's freshman team, and that's it.
Not
like,
a 60-person track team, guys. We got
exactly. I'm like
12 kids to remember.
You got 28 kids in this whole program, and thankfully for us, it's one of the programs that's doing really well at Rockford Christian. Volleyball is booming right now in all of America and all of the world, and just setting the expectations from the beginning of like, no offense, but I don't care what you did in the past. I don't care what you did over the summer. I don't care what team you were on. I know nothing about you.
And you didn't know it either. You didn't care, and you didn't know.
Like, I got nothing. But just like, it doesn't matter what role you were on in last year. Like, it's a new year. It's go be who you want to be.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, obviously that's really easy to do going into a new program. But, once the summer hits and we start doing open gyms again, it's going to be like, again, I don't care what you did last year or what team you were on last year. For example, I'm pretty sure Odessa Bucciferro, who ended up being our libero at the end of this year and was a DS throughout the year too, she's a sophomore this year. She was a freshman on the freshman team playing middle. Like,
She's got a big block.
She's got a big block. But like, that didn't matter to me. And whatever position so-and-so played, like, I think setting the expectation from the beginning of the year of like, we're going to do this as a program, and knowing that the end goal was what like all of the seniors on their thing that we did, their team bonding, put that they wanted to go to state and wanted to be successful this year. And knowing that their end goal and even some of the rest of the team was to do as well as they could, like, they didn't care who was playing. And I think telling them from the very beginning, like, this is not just hey, you're the starting setter and you're the starting outside. Like, you are going to have to compete all year long, but at the same time, you're not going to lose your spot or your role from one practice or one match. Like, it's not just going to flip because you had a bad game.
Yeah. So you talked about these things. You had these conversations. These are spoken out loud. Okay.
Yep.
And
so it was a matter of, you're going to compete, but also like, you're not just going to lose where you've competed to because of one bad thing or you had one good day. Like, it's a culmination of a lot of things. It's not just, well, today you're this and tomorrow you're this and today, like, it was setting the expectation right from the very beginning of like, we're competing, but in the end, it's how is this team going to be successful?
Yeah.
And I think that throughout the whole year, like you said, it was every single kid in the program was part of the reason why we made it where we did.
Yeah.
And I think even all season, we thankfully we had depth on our bench that we could turn to, like, hey, so-and-so's not playing well, pop in there, and we pulled off games.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just we can only win when our starters are in, or we can only win when Maddie's out there, or whatever it is. Like, it ended up being a full team thing, and I think that they they really bought into it. And I think the seniors going out of their way to do the things that they did, of like, the seniors would automatically go to the freshmen and partner up with them and lead them through things. Like, there's no reason that, you know, that the varsity team doesn't spend time with the freshman team, because there's plenty of things in skills and things like that that the varsity team also needs to work on. So why can't we work on them together? And, you know, the varsity group and the seniors can help bring people along. Like, it's not just a 1-year thing, it's a building the program thing. And I think that even our freshmen and our JV teams had success this year. I think they lost like 4 or 5 matches, like nothing crazy. And it was never
good coaching, obviously.
good coaching.
I don't know about that.
And it was never, I told them from the very beginning of the year, and told all the coaches, like, the freshmen at JV level, their goal is not to win. Like, that's not the end game here. It's the process to the different things. And the freshmen, it's to prepare them for JV, and JV, it's to prepare them to be varsity kids next year and do all of those things. And I think that the team did an incredible job, and it started with the seniors and the starters of like, hey, I can't do what I do without you. Yeah. And really embracing their teammates. And, you know, I brought in my national championship trophy and ring into practice one day, and they were all like, ooh, and my semifinal one and whatever, and like just drooling over it. And I'm like, so you guys had questions and you like talked about it and stuff like that, but not a single one of them said, Bryanna, how much did you play in that? Like, what was your role? Yeah. I didn't play a single freaking set. Like, my freshman year, I got redshirted. So like, I literally did not play a single point in that season, but I had to practice and, you know, on the B side, push the A side to be the best that they can be. And I even told Ted at the beginning of the year, like, you can only be as good as your B side. And when your B side is pushing your A side and doing those things, and like, yeah, it's nice that I have a 6'3" dude coming in and helping and doing those things to push with the B side, but like serving aggressively and blocking and playing defense and making it harder for the A side so that the A side can get better. And I think that they really started to embrace like you can only be as good as you are because I helped you get to that point. And when my time comes, whether I play 6 rotations, 3 rotations, I come in to serve, or I only play 1 rotation, or whatever it is, like, even if I'm just the biggest cheerleader on the bench, I have value to this team, and we are where we are because we did it together. And I think that we spent a lot of time talking about, you know, I don't need any certain individual to be great, but if we can all just be good, we're great as a team. And I think that they really started to like understand that as the season went on, and as we had to we played some tough teams, and, you know, it was never just a 1-man show or a 2-man show. Like, it took all 18. And I think that we had kids come off the bench and make impacts and change games and win matches for us. And, you know, I think that the starters that came off did an incredible job of cheering their team on. And when those kids did have the opportunity, they were comfortable. It wasn't.
Say some of our favorite pictures of the season were like the Richmond Burton sectional match, where it's not pictures of the kids on the court. It's pictures of kids jumping and screaming on the bench,
losing their mind
teammates
on the bench for their teammates. And even, you know,
well, and there's video evidence of Odessa cheering so hard that she dang near breaks herself. Did break herself. She's recovered. Thank you, Odessa. That's
she's not allowed to jump anymore.
That's my criticism of your program. Too much aggressive cheering.
But like, I think that it was just the biggest thing of like, hey, whether you're the one that's out there or you're the one that is supporting the people that are out there, you have an impact on this team. Yeah. And what you do makes a difference. And when you decide, I want to have a pity party for myself on the bench, like, other people see and feel that. Yeah. And I'm not saying you have to go all gung-ho and over the top. Like, yeah, we had girls that were crazy on the bench, but like, and they loved every second of it. And it made their time fun, and they knew that like if their teammates out there were successful, then great. And if they weren't, then they would have the opportunity to go do something themselves. But it was never, you know, you always see the things about we before me and all of that stuff. But, you know, they started by no means of like me doing it. They started cheering together instead of RC or whatever. Yeah. Like it was very much a together attitude. And I think that when they bought into that, that just elevated us entirely. And we had a moment at the Woodstock North tournament a couple weeks before postseason started. And, you know, we had some of those moments of like, oh, I'm not playing well, we lost, whatever. And I think it really kind of clicked. And I have no problem pulling kids when they're not doing the things that they're supposed to. And when it's, and I'm not saying like, oh, you messed up, you're out. But like, if you're going to have a bad attitude or, you know, you're not going to support the people around you because you're more worried about yourself than the 5 other people on the court, like it's got to be the six people that are out there, not the single individual. You know, we had a moment where almost all of our seniors were on the bench, and, you know, it was, all right, underclassmen, like show me what you got. Like, let's do it, because you've had incredible energy and been great teammates. And, you know, these kids don't want to do what they're supposed to be doing human wise. And I think it really clicked. And then we ended up beating Richmond Burton in the last match of the tournament. And I think
say we won the second to last match where she pulled out all of the starters because they were, say, pouting or like not coming in to celebrate or whatever it was.
Just going through the motions of things.
So she brought everyone else in that had been super excited for their teammates that were doing the things on the bench that was asked of them. Yeah. And they came back and won the match after dropping the first set. And say then we played Richmond Burton after that. But it's like, yeah, I think she's right. It started to change some things, and we finished out the rest of the regular season after that looking a lot different than we had for a couple weeks previously.
And then into postseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's, sorry, two big thoughts that I had as you're talking. To have the NCAA championship ring, you know, and like, ooh. Well, no, but like that. Seriously, I could see.
Some people are like, you should coach with that on. Why? Well, or your Big Ten ring,
and that's
why?
You know, hey, there it is. But then to say, hey guys, you know, I redshirted this year. You know, it's illegal. You could not play. You know, but then you had the mindset in your head that, hey, I'm good, which is crazy because you come from, you know, playing at Boylan where you didn't come off the court, playing at Fusion, didn't come off the court. Hey, I go to Penn State. Oh, I'm sitting, you know, like that had to be a jolt in things. So I'm assuming this was explained to you well, or you were just mature in it or something there.
For a while I wasn't, but then, you know, I figured it out and I was like, oh, I guess I'm behind an All-American Micah Hancock who also went to the Olympics. Like, it's fine.
Yeah. She's fine. Okay, I guess, at volleyball. She's all right. There we go. But like to think, because I'm not relating the same way here, but like I don't know if you know this, but was the backup catcher for Sycamore High School football, or for Sycamore High School baseball. And I was behind Ryan Sample, not the same. And I knew Ryan was better than I was, but I was bitter. Like I was frustrated that like, and not that like I didn't play because I knew he was better, but it's like, okay, I'll go warm up the pitcher, you know, great, okay, you know, as he's getting his equipment on, and then I go back to the bench, you know, and I sit with my shin guards on, you know, waiting for the next time, or maybe I go warm up the left fielder and and it just, but it was never explained to 17-year-old Adam, 18-year-old Adam, the role I had on that team or should have had on that team. If I wasn't, nobody could tell I was frustrated. Unless my parents asked me after the game, you know, at home, then I would let them, I want to play, Dad. You know, and that was frustrating, but I didn't feel like I had any important role in that team at all. It was never explained to me. We never had those conversations. You guys are having those conversations. So I guess this is like my push for, if you're a coach listening to this right now, like talk to your kids about, like, it's not just about the starters. It's not just about the kid that's, she's a great setter. Well, that's great. You need somebody to pass her the ball. If not, she's running laps and not going to be able to get the,
Right.
She might make the perfect set, but then, you're setting it off the back, wall hitting off the back wall half the time. And like volleyball being the ultimate team sport. And we say that, but like every sport is, outside of like wrestling and stuff like that. But even with that, like Penn State has the room.
Mm-hmm.
They have this room of guys that all like work their tails off. And it's like that practice partner is just as important as anything else. And so I think that is just such a major thing that we miss so much of the time. And we look at and this is kind of like the ESPN mentality that we live on. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, puts the Chiefs on his back and there he goes. And now he tore his ACL. So like, oh, what are they going to do without, he's a phenomenal player. I'm not taking anything away from that. All-American setter, playing the Olympic, however, he had lots of pieces around, had fantastic coaching, had backup support staff, blah, 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 blah. And I think it's so easy to miss those important pieces. And then to highlight what you guys are doing, you're highlighting the roles that all these kids on your team need to have that most coaches don't take the time to talk about.
Yeah, and I think that, like, whether it's just the role in practice, but also, like, you have to have some sort of depth in your bench of, we spend just as much time training our B-side kids as we do our starters and getting them reps and things like that, because who's to say so-and-so is not going to go down and have to be replaced, or so-and-so is going to have an off match, or, the other team did a great job scouting her and just, she can't have she's got nothing going right for her today. And, they have to be prepared to step in and step up when it comes to that moment. And I think that we had a few matches this year, especially during the regular season, where we had those kids come off the bench and make a huge difference and pull out some matches for us. And, and we go into practice the next day and you have the conversations with both kids and you're like, hey, like, I know what you can do. Just because you had an off match doesn't mean I'm mad at you. I don't feel any sort of way towards you. Like, okay, we lost, but like tomorrow's another day. You're going to have another opportunity.
And you would have these conversations.
Yeah.
I was going to add, like,
I think most people don't. That's what I'm going to add.
I think that's crazy. They either don't or they don't get the same time. It's like not every athlete gets the same conversation, but every athlete, I think for Bryanna, she did a really good job about giving everyone the same amount of time, where it wasn't, hey, I'm just going to talk to these 4 kids because they're the ones that are playing. It was, we're going to talk to every single one of you, and it's going to be a little bit different depending on what your role is and what things have been recently going on or what we need. But everyone gets the time. And making sure that I think everyone feels like they're invested in because they need to be, because they're all important, is where you get that from. Yeah. So. Yeah, we did have the conversations.
Correct.
I often just sat there and nodded and said, great job. But
that's an important role. I'm amazed with how much, and I see our kids who are going off to college and stuff like that, and these are not huge teams, 15, 16 kids on a team, and the lack of communication that's being had at that level. You have 16 kids. You have 4 coaches. What are you talking about? You don't have a whole friggin' program. You don't have 30 kids. Like, what are you doing? And that communication thing is, I think, so gosh darn important that so many coaches just miss the boat on. Like, you think the kid knows what you're thinking inside, but unless you actually tell them, like, if not, they're going to ride home with their parent, and the parent is going to tell them their side of things. No offense, parents, but like, oh no, you shouldn't be playing. I don't know what the heck coach is thinking. You're the best one out there.
But then, like, you can communicate all you want and talk to the kids all you want, but like, what are the kids actually going to bring back to their parents? Yes. Or what are they going to hear? And I think that as a coach, that's something that I've tried to make sure, especially when he was the varsity coach, of like, you're a young male coaching young females. Like, we always have conversations with the 2 of us. Like, it's never, we try really, really hard to never have just a me and an athlete, because things can get twisted, things can get misunderstood, whatever. So I think that I think we've done a really good job holding each other accountable of just like, and we had 3 other young coaches in our program of like, obviously I want
You
to.
did have some young coaches.
I know, they're so young. And you didn't even call me old, so.
No.
But
They're
like,
just
they're
babies.
Yeah,
babies.
seriously.
But like,
I remember a little 8th grade, Jade Kaufman, oh, gosh.
but just trying to set good examples for them and understanding of like, you don't want to have those one-on-one conversations. Like you need to have another adult human with you so that, when things do end up getting twisted or whatever, like whatever it is, it's just a safety thing of whether it's the kid translating it to another kid or their parent or whatever. Like you don't want things to get lost in translation. And I think that, like I said, setting the expectations for kids from the very beginning of the year and honestly over communicating with them of what's going on and just checking in.
Over
Like,
communicating. That's the line.
I'm a communications
That's
major.
a big deal. Yes.
Just checking in with kids. Like I think every single kid in our program at some point, especially on the varsity team, during a practice was just crying. Like so-and-so would be crying this day, so-and-so would be crying some other day. But they're teenage girls and they're like, they got life going on and school going on. And like, he looked at me at the beginning of the year and was like, why is everyone crying today? And I go, welcome to girls volleyball. But I was like, people are going to have those days, but
no one knows that answer, Devin. No one knows.
But I'm like, I don't know either. But like, you just have to go reassure them, like, volleyball is just volleyball. And I understand that you might have all of these other things going on, but like, just go play volleyball.
Yeah.
And knowing that hopefully the athletes know that you care about them as human beings before you care about how they perform.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that we tried really hard to make sure that the kids knew, like, their worth is not volleyball. It's who they are as human beings. And we weren't just building a volleyball program, but we were building good humans. What are you looking at me like that for?
That's where we're ending the podcast on that right there. I was waiting for some climactic moment here, and that was it. I think that is a massive deal. I think that's something that coaches easily miss. I think that's something that parents will miss. Kids don't have a clue, and so for that it's not the wins and losses, because if you do all the things that you're supposed to be doing, you care about these kids on that human level, great things will happen. Like amazing things will happen. These kids will, and that's what you guys obviously found out this year. That is a huge deal. If you're a coach, I want you to listen to that, hit rewind, hit the little Spotify back 10 seconds a couple times over, listen to what Bryanna just said, because I think that is absolutely gold.
Drops mic.
That was fantastic. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, I just think that, well, I guess then, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No, but let me tell you.
It's very Midwestern to say no, yeah, and then yeah, no.
It is.
It is. I just think that, I forgot what I was going to say now. Don't laugh at me. I just think, like I said, I am not a perfect coach. I can't say that I know everything. I've had a lot of coaches in the past, whether I've coached with or been coached by or watched or whatever, and everybody has their own coaching styles. So you have to find what works well for you and what your athletes respond to best, but you have to be consistent with it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that Eric told us probably one of the first times I started coaching is like, whoever you are as a coach, the kids should expect, like, know what to expect, but also, like, you can't change who you are based on how things are going. You can't be a cheerleader when things are going well, and when things are going poorly, you can't just go sit on the bench and not say anything. Like, you have to find something consistent and true to who you are so that your athletes know what to expect. And in return, you know what to expect from them. Yeah. And I think that that's something that, the support that we gave our athletes this year and knowing, like, wanting to know them as human beings and guiding them to also being good human beings was one of our big goals. And I think that the team ultimately understood what we were pushing for. Now, whether all of the parents got it, whether all the spectators got it, or other coaches looking on got it, I don't care. No. I think the 28 kids that were in that program knew how much we cared for them as coaches, and, you know, how much we invested into them. And I think that ultimately is the goal of, you know, you guys are human beings first and athletes second. You're not just volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Devin?
I would say I'll talk to the athletes a little bit because I played soccer and volleyball. I was good at volleyball. I was okay at soccer, but I was you. Where I didn't play a ton.
Let's be clear, you're better than me.
But
anything here.
I didn't play a ton as I got older in high school, and I was not the great teammate about it because I didn't have any of these conversations. I didn't understand why I didn't get on the field, and I felt like I could, especially because I'd been playing and then all of a sudden I wasn't anymore.
Yeah.
So just want to say that it's not easy.
Yeah.
What we ask of our kids. Like, it's hard. I'm super competitive. Like, I want to be out on the field. I hate losing more than I like winning. Mm-hmm. And it is asking someone that's competitive to put aside what they feel is best for themselves and invest in the interest of the team is not something that we do lightly, because we've been the people that, like Bryanna said, she redshirted a whole year. We've been the people that don't play. So we can understand how difficult it is.
Yeah.
But as we get so competitive with everything we do, try to remember the fun and the love that you have for the thing that you're doing and the people that you're doing it with.
No.
And be excited that you get to be a part of something.
No.
Not everyone gets a chance to be on a team, right? Not everyone gets to go to practice and play a game that they love to play with people that they love playing with. So if you're that person, find a way to have the conversations, but also find a way to have fun with what you're doing, and remember that your worth is not with the amount of time that you're out on the court or how you're performing, right? But if you love being there, love being part of it, even if it's really hard to do sometimes, and don't feel bad if there's days where you're just like, man, I wish I was playing, because you're going to have them. Find ways to support the team and to love your teammates and to grow that way. Because, like I said, I was not good at it. I got better at it. And I think that coaching JV boys volleyball was one of the best things for me, because it was like, hey, these kids have never played before. They have no idea what's going on.
In Pennsylvania, there's no freshmen.
Yeah.
It's just JV and varsity.
Right. So there would be years where I'd have 15 kids come out and maybe 2 had played volleyball before. But it's hey, I don't.
This is a volleyball.
Yeah.
This is the out of bounds.
Literally.
This
is a net.
For me, it was a very humbling experience of, it doesn't matter if we win or lose. They need to be able in a season to get ready to play varsity potentially next year, because maybe they're an athletic sophomore that's never done volleyball, but now they're going to be expected to figure out how to play in a year. So yeah, just find ways to be good teammates. It's okay then it's hard, but it's going to be good for what you grow into as you get older as well.
Yeah.
Because life is not always about your first place in everything and everything's going your way and there's no challenges. So find ways to learn from the things that may feel like they're not great, because there's typically a reason for it.
This is the point in the show where we throw out, because I know how active you guys are on the social medias.
Oh, so active.
Constantly, influencers at the highest level.
I think I've posted twice in the last 5 years.
I had to get an Instagram to follow our Rockford Christian stuff.
And to watch all the reels I send him.
And that, yeah.
See, I do the same.
Because I'm on Instagram and not the TikTok. So I see stuff I guess 2 weeks later. And thank you for calling me young. All the Rockford Christian girls. So you hear that? We're still young.
Yes.
Because
you are.
They put us on blast calling us old.
31.
Jeez.
I know. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. No. If people wanted to find you on the social, Should we just have him follow Rockford Christian?
Yeah, T does a
Honestly.
great job. I don't even know what my handle is.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Who does the T?
Thalia does
the-
our Rockford Christian volleyball.
Oh, does she?
Because she
Oh,
was
fun.
one of our coaches.
Okay. Oh, well,
Also, shout out to our 3 coaches, Denzel, Jade, and Thalia.
see,
Great squad.
That makes sense to have T do it. That totally makes.
Oh, yeah, she crushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll just tag that then. That'll be so much easier. She'll blow it up.
Oh, yeah.
Put it on her.
I don't know what it is. Rockford Christian volleyball? I don't know. I got nothing.
We'll hunt it down. We'll put it in some show notes somewhere.
We'll tag it somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. There you go, guys. I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
I'm seriously impressed because I love watching coaches coach, and it to watch coaches coach in different ways. You have guys like Wayne who will coach you and make fun of you at the exact same time, and sometimes you don't know if he is making fun of you or not making fun of you.
The answer is yes.
Usually, but like to do it at such a high level and to do it consistently, and whether you get his humor or not, because there's so many kids that just it will right over them. But like,
listen, I had Wayne, I had Eric, I had Russ Rose. They're all very,
very different.
very different, and very similar.
Yes. Well, can I say Eric and Wayne being different in things?
And similar.
Okay. I think Wayne is funnier. That's what I'm going to say. No offense, Eric. I watch Wayne coach and I laugh. I watch Eric coach. I don't laugh.
Well, I feel like as a player, I probably had a little bit different of an Eric than the Eric that you see these days.
Oh.
He was young and sparky then.
Oh. Not anymore.
Now he's
Old and Sparky.
old and sparky. Just kidding.
But still sparky. No, but I think it's interesting to watch different coaches coach, and I'm talking across all sports. Like I watched our our head varsity coach at Haniga, who coaches with our youth stuff too. And I love when he coaches my athletes, my kids, because he's so calm, like Hale. He's so calm. He'll say a couple things, Hey, he'll be direct with it, and boom. And then there are other coaches that yell their faces off, which sometimes is okay. Again, you're trying to communicate. It's loud,
Right.
but like it works less good with my kids. They're a little sensitive when it comes to this. They're still trying to beat up the guy across from them, but like it's just different. So like I very much respect the just how different people have different ways to getting the job done. Not saying everybody has to coach volleyball like this and whatnot, but like to be able to hear kids know that, hey, this is just a sport, just a sport, just volleyball. Just a volleyball.
Just volleyball.
Today's
Just a
just a
game.
Monday. Who cares? So, you got tomorrow. Like, hey, I think it's just such a big thing to put things in perspective for these kids, to have those conversations, to have that communication, because most coaches don't, and then they get frustrated that, oh, my kids don't understand. Hey, they're doing this. Did you ever tell them? Did you ever coach them? Did you ever lead them? Because if the answer is no, well, then you're at fault. It's not the kids.
Yeah, and I mean, even at the beginning of the year, we had a thing and we asked all the kids, how do you like to be coached? Like, how do you learn best in the volleyball world? And some kids like, seeing it done. Some kids like having to do it themselves and figure it out. And some kids like hearing about it or like seeing, it's figuring out what works best for not only you, but your athletes. And you're going to have different kids respond differently to different ways, and just realizing that.
Kids are different. People are different.
They are indeed.
Guys, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
I got to
Thanks
run
for
to wrestling
having us.
practice now.
Hey.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having
Nice.
us.
Thanks for having
I
us.
need to go back and figure out what episode you were on. It was early. It was
a while
early
ago,
on.
yeah.
So long
been a
ago,
minute.
I didn't remember.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. You were young then.
I was.
Now
Now I'm old.
yes. 29?
Yep.
When's the birthday?
May 25th.
Okay, it's coming.
Big 3-0.
29 and a half right now. There you go.
Closer to 30.
Really?
Okay, 31.
Really? Guys, thanks for joining us. Listeners, thanks for joining us. We will catch you on the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for listening to another episode of Oak Performance Radio. Don't forget to check us out on the social at Oak Performance and online at www.oakstrength.com/Oak Performance. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.